Hey guys, what's up? It's
What's
Brock.
up in Boston? And for today's video, some of you guys might know that last Friday we were in a plane crash down in Duchesne, Utah, and we wanted to kind of give you guys a little bit update. We've been updating you a lot on Instagram, and so
Just wanted to throw an update on YouTube.
yeah.
Tell you guys how we've been.
So do you kind of want to tell them how everybody's doing so far?
Yeah. So I'm doing good. It's just like it was like just a traumatic experience. So it's just like going through the day, just trying not to think of everything. And it's like, go for you too.
Yeah, so one thing I also wanted to say is that, so Shad and our dad are in the hospital. There were 6 people on the plane, including me and Brock. So Shad and our dad are in the hospital, and they were sitting in the front of the plane. And then Jaslyn and my mom, they're home,
They're doing
but
good.
they're still in pain. My mom broke pretty much all of her ribs, or how many ever ribs she has.
She broke 7 ribs and has a disc displaced in her neck, and then just like strained muscles and stuff.
And then bruises
Yeah,
all
she's
over.
sore.
And then Jaslyn, she broke her wrist and
had a really terrible concussion.
Yeah, had a really bad concussion. And
Bruised
then
up.
I broke my hip. Like, it's just like a little fracture, so I don't need anything for it. I'm just taking ibuprofen.
Yep.
And then Brock.
Me, I'm doing pretty good.
No broken bones for him.
No broken bones that we know of. Just kidding. I don't.
But he's been
have
so
any.
sore.
I've been sore. Like my arm, my elbow, and then my jaw, and then my lower back. That's been pretty sore, but that's been about it for me. Just bruises all over and just soreness. But so far, I'm doing good.
And we kind of wanted to give you guys a little rundown of like the story that happened, because we did post a video on the Mikesell family talking about it.
There's a lot of detail to it,
but
we'll get into that.
Yeah, there's a lot of more detail, and we'll kind of share like our sides too. So yeah, it was August 7th, 2020. Not the best year to go on a plane a small plane for the first time.
Yeah, no.
And we were heading out, and like before, we were all kind of nervous, but we were all excited. Like, we just have to get over our fears.
Yeah, I had not one bad thought about going on the plane. I just remember being excited and like super.
Yeah, so we were gonna go. We were gonna go up to Moon Lake, in Duchesne.
Yeah, we're going through the UNOs and just like looking at the view of the mountains, and then we came down through
like the little canyon area that's like leading towards the
Moon Lake. And so we went into landing gear.
Because Shad wanted to take us down
slowly
lower
over the lake, and it was super beautiful, super cool. Everything was going good. So we go there. We hit some type of air pocket or something. We don't really know the exact reason of why everything happened, but we lost power. Engine was still going. We just lost power. We couldn't go, and so we had to make an emergency landing.
Well, no, hold on. So Shad, he was saying that, okay, we're gonna have to land, and then I was in the back, and Brock thought it was a joke.
I didn't believe him.
He was laughing, and then I was just in the back, and I'm just like saying a prayer, and then I remember seeing 2 people out the window waving at us, because I think they're like, wait, why are you like coming down here? Like, you're too close. And then my mom and Jasmine was saying a prayer too. And our dad and Shad were like, it's okay, relax, guys, relax. And maybe because my dad was also vlogging that day, and maybe we'll end up showing the video of it, but I don't know, we might not. And as we were coming down, people were later on saying that like it just looked like angels were just like taking you down.
We had 12 seconds too.
And we had 12 seconds by the time that we knew that we like
had to go
couldn't
down.
get back up in the air, that we were just like falling down. And so Shad, he landed us, and we hit the ground pretty hard, which was not the best, because I think we all hit our heads. I think we all got kind of like little headaches or like little concussions.
Everyone got concussions, yes.
Yeah. And so we hit the ground, and then Brock, he was getting out, and then you want to tell him about like the glass and.
Yeah. So there's actually a lot of detail behind like of how everything happened too with the crash, but yeah. So once we hit, I remember the whole thing. I remember just going and holding onto the seat and just praying and expecting myself to just like pass away after that. So I remember we hit, And then I remember feeling my back, because my back just like, I just got the wind knocked out of me. I remember seeing Boston too, looked over at him, and then I remember seeing my dad's phone at my feet. So I went and I was holding my back, grabbed the phone that was at my feet, and I started just dialing 911. But we had no reception down there, so it wasn't going through.
Call.
And then I remember hopping out and seeing my dad up there and Shad, and it just looked like super scary.
Shad couldn't move, he couldn't feel his legs, and then our dad, he was like unconscious, and there's a lot of detail to go into that, but it was not good. He didn't look alive.
Yep.
And then, I'll just say that. But
and then Boston and Jocelyn, they were out of the plane.
We were running I probably ran like a couple yards, and I had a broken hip, and Jocelyn had a broken arm when she was getting out. So I ran over to her.
Super tough.
And then Brock, he was ripping out the glass and stuff.
No. And then so I was checking in on them. And then I went and I ran around to my dad to go see if they were okay. And then I remember seeing my mom and my dad. And I remember my mom pushing up my dad so he wasn't like pooling and stuff.
Or choking.
Yeah, and just choking and stuff. So I remember seeing him get pushed up. And then I remember seeing his legs too. And just everything was all messed up. And then I remember trying to get into the plane because I couldn't get where he was, where his feet were. So I remember trying to rip off the glass, but it was too strong, and then I didn't want glass to like just go and fall or cut whoever else was there. And then I remember seeing Shad giving directions to everybody. And so I was like freaking out seeing my dad like that.
And he was so calm too.
And Brock took off his shirt.
And then and then so I went around the plane. And I was just checking. I was just checking everything around the plane, and then I went around to go see where my mom was on that side. And then I remember taking off my shirt because seeing my dad all like that was super scary. So I remember taking off my shirt, giving it to my mom, and then my mom put on my dad. And then after that, I was screaming at the guys to come down that were in the campers and stuff.
Like,
so they came down. They came down and helped me, and they told me to go away. So I went out to see my dad. So I went away, and then I remember seeing Boston.
Well, first off, hold on.
I went and joined them.
Yeah. So then I was with Jaslyn, and I remember like running over to her. I gave her a big hug, and I'm like, Jaslyn, I love you, because like I wasn't totally for sure if like everybody was in there that like would survive and stuff, and so I was just kind of still out of it a little bit. We were all pretty dizzy still, and then I remember seeing people coming down the mountain sprinting towards us, and then there was this lady, I forgot her name, but I just gave her a hug, and I'm like, we need to pray, and so we said a prayer with her, and then she went back to help, and then there were more people coming, and then there's another girl. I gave her a hug, and she was helping me too. She said a prayer, and then we're like, we need somebody to give us a blessing. We need to start praying.
And then I remember just falling to my knees and just praying out loud, and then I just remember falling on the ground and being dizzy and couldn't see too much.
And then I was talking to Jazz, and so and also another miracle is that there were EMTs. I think there was an EMT in training.
Yeah.
And then I think there were like actual EMTs, but they were just taking a little vacation up there, which is insane. Like, why would they be up there where we were?
And we had our ambulances closer than they should
have
have been.
The ambulances were closer than we thought. And so the EMTs, they were asking us all questions, and they were also saying things like asking us like what numbers are what, where we live. And I remember seeing Jasmine, and Jasmine was in pain. Like, her arm was just, like, bent. And she was just, like, she wasn't crying. She was just like, ow.
Yeah.
And so
she was in shock.
I was just trying to make sure that she wouldn't fall asleep because she looked really tired and in pain, too.
Yeah.
And so that's what we were doing. And then we got into our ambulances. Me and Brock rode together. And then they cut off our shirts. My favorite shirt.
Boston's shirt, yeah.
My American Eagle shirt.
And I remember sitting in the ambulance. They had to try my IV like 6 times in this hand. So they were poking me like a ton.
Especially on the bumpy roads.
It was super painful. Too. And then I remember my lower back and my butt just killing because of the stretcher that I was on.
I thought my butt was broken. It was my hip, but I seriously think it's my butt that's broken. Like, I'm not even kidding. It hurts so bad, but.
And then I just remember getting to the hospital. I remember feeling a lot calmer after hearing my dad too that he was conscious. But then I didn't hear from him for a while. It was probably about like 2 hours since I got to see Boston and my mom.
And then
because I was there by myself.
Yeah, and then we had some friends come. So Caitlin, she's behind the camera right now.
What's up?
And she was babysitting the Fields kids while we were out at the plane, and
Yep.
she was just like watching them, and then
Yeah, she's just
There's
there
a-
helping us out.
yeah, she was helping us out too. So she came with also Jaslyn's brother-in-law, and Jaslyn's brother-in-law, Caden, he was sitting with me in the hospital room, like helping me like feel all comfortable. And we were talking, and we're talking about like vacations and like how we want to go to Cabo again and all of that. So he really helped us.
We just didn't have an extra person for Brock.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
so
like people also couldn't come in because
yeah,
of
a lot of people
COVID.
can come in because of COVID, so I was just sitting there, just hanging out. I had my dad's phone, and I remember I was too scared to call my mom because I didn't want my mom to freak out and
Be like,
that was
oh,
my dad.
Gentry's calling.
So I didn't. I wasn't talking to anybody. The nurses were cool, but it was just like it's just super hard. I think it's just super hard for everybody, nurses too. But
Yeah.
I was doing good.
And now we're just taking the days easier.
Yeah, we're just praying for my dad, hoping he'll get better. He's been getting better every day. That's what it looks like. So
Yeah, and overall, I want you guys to know that, like, that Shad was our hero. Like, he landed the plane perfectly, and also that
and being so calm. Too,
yeah,
with
being
us.
so calm. If you guys ever hear that video, and then also that like God was with us the whole entire time. I think we can all say that.
Yeah, there's a lot of miracles and stuff that we didn't get into that.
Like some things just might not make sense, and that's when miracles happen. You know what I mean? So I think that if anyone's gonna reach out to you, just like to make sure and be positive. Like when you see Brock and Boston on social media and they seem like they're A-okay, just remember we can wake up feeling good in the middle of the day, feel low, and then at night feel good again. So it's just like it's a lot of ups and downs, and like obviously these two are gonna like always try and show the good side, but just remember like the healing from this, and like
it'll take time.
It'll take a lot of time. So even if you guys do start making videos and stuff, just remember that these two are wanting to show you all the good, and so
we'll keep trying to post some videos, like, because we had a lot of videos before the crash, and that's why we weren't vlogging like the day of the crash, which I think ended up being really good. But
also I want to say thank you guys for all like your love and support and prayers too. That's helping a lot.
Yeah, we can feel
it's
it.
Making us feel really good.
Betsy said when Gentry and Jaslyn and Shad and everyone have the best recovery, or like the best success is like when people are fasting and praying. So it's like it's definitely working, because the days people are doing that, I feel like all we hear is just good news, so.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. We love that.
Thank you so much. We love you guys, and we'll hope to see you guys soon.
See ya.